Alrighty guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a side video because right here is the crankshaft bolt here and I need to get it off. And they sell a special tool at like $110. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to manufacture a tool to use to remove that bolt. And all I have to do is hold the crankshaft still in a safe manner so that I can loosen that bolt. And here's what I've got planned. Okay, here's the old Harmonic Balancer. I'm replacing this because of this chewed up rubber center part. If that continues to deteriorate, this will be rattling and it can cause all kinds of problems with the car. I have this bar that's from my engine stand. It's the only thing I could find that would be strong enough to hold the crankshaft still. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind the edge down with my grinder, and then I'm going to grind an area of my Harmonic Balancer pulley here, and I'm going to weld that bar across here, and then I should be able to put the bolts back in here and tighten them up, and then I can use this bar to hold the crankshaft still. Now again, there's a proper tool to buy that will do the same exact thing. It mounts to those 3 bolts. It has a bar. You hold it while you undo the bolts, or the main bolt that is. And I'm going to save myself that money because if you've been watching my series about the Mini, you'll understand I've put out quite a bit of money getting this car back together. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and grind those down, and I'll be back in a second. I have successfully ground down this edge here. I'm going to take it down and make it a little flatter so it sits a little flatter across my pulley here. But the goal is to set it here and weld that to the pulley. I shouldn't need too much of a weld, but I'll get it there enough, and hopefully it will be strong enough to hold in there so I can get this done. And my goal is to cut this off this pulley and be able to use it for my engine stand. It's just to rotate the engine, so I should be able to still use it after I cut it off. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and grind this a little flatter, and then we're going to set up the welder and get it welded. Okay, now I have this set up in my clamp here, and these surfaces, there's a total of 4 surfaces on each side of the rubber piece that I'll be able to get my stick into. I use a wire-fed Harbor Freight welder. I've welded with it a few times, and say what you will about Harbor Freight tools, I have had no problems. I use all Harbor Freight wrenches, screwdrivers, and everything, and I'm completely satisfied with quality. If you haven't tried Harbor Freight tools for a while, give them another shot, because when I first started using them, they were crap. But like all things, prices for manufacturing gets cheaper and cheaper as you go, and they make a good quality tool now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tack the weld, and I'll be right back. Okay, I just wanted to show you real quick my welder. Here's Chicago Electric. This is not the smallest one that they make, and it's not the largest one. This is a wire-fed welder, which should work just fine for this here. It's nothing too big. I'm hoping everything goes well. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and fire it up. We're going to give it a shot. I'm not going to record the welding because I don't want to fry out my camera or something to that effect. So I'll be right back as soon as I get it tacked, and then we'll continue on from there. Okay, right now I got just a little tack mark there to hold it in place. And I'm going to continue getting a good solid bead across there. We'll see how it goes. Alright guys, I've got it welded. Yes, it's an ugly ass weld. I am not a professional welder by any means. This is like the 3rd time I've welded. But I guess the main thing is that it's pretty much attached, and I don't think it's going to break off there. So I'm going to go ahead and get it mounted to it and see if we can get any response out of it. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got the pulley on there. It's tightened down with the bar here. We're going to go ahead and get the ratchet on there and see if we can bust it loose. You guys can watch right here. Okay, due to room constrictions, I had to move things out of the way, but to my surprise, my weld held, okay, and that bolt is now free to come out. And that is how I got my bolt off, and I'm pretty sure that it will go back on the same way. I'll just have to work with it and get it on there. Okay guys, here is the reason why I pulled out that nut, because this piece here slides into the timing chain gear at the bottom, and when you slide this out, it comes out in a piece, and here is where the crankshaft seal rides, and I have a brand new one of those, but we're going to reuse this one. This one looks just perfectly fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. And the thing is when these things get put on, they have to be torqued to the exact specification, because these things have no locking key, and so when you tighten this up, it pinches that gear right there. It pinches it with torque and holds it in place. So you can imagine if you did not torque that enough, that gear there would slip, and your crank would turn without the cams turning, and that could cause bent valves and whatever else that happens when you lose that gear there. So make sure that when you reinstall this piece, it is installed exact specs. If I remember, I will post the exact torque sequence for this piece on the description. Alright guys, next, after that piece comes out, then you can just slide the chain up, and normally all the guides come out with this, but I pulled them out before, and voila, there is the crankshaft timing gear and the chain. I have a whole new set to go in here, so that will be discarded. That is no longer useful. But as you can see down in there, there's also the gear down there with the chain on it, and that turns the oil pump. And to replace that, it's pretty difficult job, so we're not going to do that. There was no problem with oil pressure. It was just simply a valve seat that had come dislodged. But anyway, alright, well that's going to wrap it up for this side video. I may or may not include this in my normal series on the Mini, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you on your project, or you pass the information on to somebody else. Take care, enjoy, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, because I got plenty more fun coming up.